Up? What's up, guys? What's going on across planet Earth? I went a little early for you guys today. Woo-hoo. And yeah, I woke up from some pretty amazing dreams, let's just say. And I wanted to explain what some of you guys may be experiencing right now in dream time. And I sat with my guides for about 35, 40 minutes early this morning, going over everything I was going to share with you, and it's specifically what they wanted you guys to know what's going on. If you guys' dream time may be leaning towards the lower dimensional stuff. What's up, guys? I got you all day. I'll tell you what this is. Over here at Command Station. But without further ado, welcome to Morning Coffee. I am Rion. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys here today. My brother ripped yesterday. Check out his feed, Alexander. Check out what he's got going on over there. But today, I wanted some solo time because I want to kind of get right into how can I help my family who are having these weird dreams where it seems like we're dreaming in the lower astral plane. I got you. Get your notebooks out. Sit back and relax. This is so much fun. I love you guys. I thought about whenever things get a little more hairy out there, I thought about just putting my camera on the birds in my backyard and just filming Sedona. So when everyone's like, what's going on? You're just like, how about just Sedona for an hour? I just want to hear you know what I mean? So, some of the stuff that's going on in the astral, and I'll tell you, basically if you guys want to, you guys see in your dreams, there's a lot of symbolism in the beginning. You guys will have dreams, and there's symbolisms based upon, all right, what are you guys trying to show me? What's the symbolism of this dream? What is this in reference to? Well, as you guys get stronger, I'll tell you what happened. 3 days ago, I was crushing some very sacred stones for some of my family out there, and I plugged into an old system, old Sumerian Egyptian system. So I had to talk to these guys to be able to use these stones in these creations. So in that, though, I was like, you know what, bro? I got to go clear an airport. So it was nighttime, around 10 o'clock at night. I went to Airport Vortex, and I sat there in the middle of the night. I was sitting on the side of a cliff, and I basically just fell asleep into the mountain. And it was really cool for me. I haven't done that for a while. Many of you guys are really woke, but sometimes it takes a lot for us just to be here and actually imagine I've known I'm pretending for the past 10 years in the sense that I know I'm a multidimensional being existing in the physical as a matter of fact, not as oh, I think it or I read it. No, every single day I basically switch in between channels on my multidimensional stream 24 hours a day. So a lot of us that have been processing this stuff, when I get out on the land, I literally instantly go into my elder self. My consciousness switches over. It's almost like, if you guys want to think about it, imagine your whole life you've been watching a VCR and everything that's recorded on a loop. When you switch into your elder self, who's obviously much older than you are in this form, it's like somebody just opened up the internet for the first time. Everything's at 8K, and you almost don't even talk about the lower dimensions. You just automatically switch into that version of yourself. So I was up there clearing, and I didn't even know Sandra Walters was talking about this, that all of the guardians, I heard her speak yesterday on Soulology, but all the guardians were called back to their normal spots so they could obviously oversee the vibrational transition of planet Earth based upon their own geode or their own place or sector in which they're responsible for. So I didn't even know this, but that night, 3 nights ago, I was literally clearing all of Sedona. I grabbed the 3 large cables where all the fear was coming in from Phoenix and Scottsdale and across the United States. But what I noticed was every time I would start, now in my meditation, mind you, this is how it starts, I kept pushing the ceiling up 3,000 feet in the air and creating that golden hurricane or tornado, which I speak of to you guys to do. Always manifest big. I don't know who taught, like I said, I didn't come from that school who said manifest really small. The universe is inside of you, will explode like a star. take it to the next level. Some things are, well, this is going off now. The world needs sage. Here we go. So, I'm up there. I started interacting with the guys from Inner Earth. I checked in on them. I go, yo, what's going on down there? And then I was actually going around and checking on a lot of the different pyramids which I've gridded around the planet. Then I morphed into that guy. And that guy was, that version of me, right? That's why I'm wearing my Egypt thing here today. Right. It's relevant because what's happening in this shift is, so imagine those cables I'm talking about. So let me explain the cables to you. In the beginning, when you wake up, you're in your mind's eye. Okay, for actually, level 1, your tum-tum. I feel something. Level 2, I feel something in my heart. Level 3, your other awareness, maybe your throat chakra turns on, maybe your third eye turns on, maybe you start to see auras, maybe you start to see differences in colors around you, maybe, that clairvoyance kicks in. Keep continuing down that path. And eventually when your third eye goes from the size of a dime to the size of a nickel to the size of a quarter to the size of a silver dollar to the entire forehead to God's eye, which is everything is in a 360 camera. When you go from narrowband vision to broadband vision, right? That's when you guys get to see the cables. So what are these cables? Well, in basic meditation practices, people talk about this as, your silver cord, which goes from your sternum up, or all the cables that connect all of your chakras, right, into the grid, into your toroidal field. Well, when you're a grid worker, or a mini planetary guardian or a galactic out here, sometimes they have you guys stare at the cables of consciousness. So what does that mean? When I say I grab a cable, I mean me in an energy form that's like the Jolly Green Giant. That's about this thing. See, I can't even move properly without breaking things. Hold on. I'll show you that in a second. Now, what happens is you get in your pose, and when I was streaming energy on top of that mountain 3 nights ago, my back has to sit back and lock because there's so much frequency coming through the ground, right? That you have to hold the pistons, like imagine you're a vehicle, it has to hold dead straight because you're moving so much current. If you try to bend or move while you're vibrating that fast, you can cause some issues within your body. Basically, it'll slow you down. So imagine like you're a racer on a bicycle, like a street bike. When you're in a full tuck going down at 60 miles an hour, you don't want to pull the brake or turn the wheel. You got to just go. It's almost like you're in a luge, in the Olympics. So when I say keep your back straight, your chest up, boom, like this, it's so that cable inside of your spine and all that energy can flow properly. So you take that energy, it's flowing from your spine, right? Say it starts about this big, to about this big, to about this big. Like imagine, this is really cool visual. Okay, so imagine that inner channel of yours on top of your head, that crown, again, starts this big, then this big, then this big. Then it does something where it basically expands like a V and it just blows the ceiling. Similar to, if you guys want to know, which I've expressed before, is how similar to how a blue whale comes up and exhales energy or air. That's how you want to explode the chi out of your body. Boom! So instead of slowly gliding up in your meditation, put music on or whatever you do, follow your breath techniques, that pot belly breath, right? But once you get your RPM up, this is the important thing. You want to get that RPM cranking and then pop the top. You have to go through the target. So what I mean is your energy is firing like a bullet through the dimension above you. Say it's 4D or 5D or 6D, or if you're down in the lower planes, 3D, you have to fire through the veil. It's not like, oh, I'm going to push into, because this is what happens. It's like pushing on the inside of a water balloon. It just goes, gotcha, where are you going? So you're like this. I want to meditate in a higher vibration. Here's the 4D wall. Most people go like this, and they're like, Listen to your brother and fire through the target. Through the target. Just heads up for you guys. So what's going on in lower astral planes? I'll tell you what's going on. So, let's talk about the cables, then I'll go into this. It'll come 360. So, when my big dude's sitting on the mountain and I'm pushing through, I feel the resistance snap back. So imagine you're this big dude sitting up, like my energy body's just big dude. And as you come up, I felt all the cables that were hanging on me, which I was unconscious to. So all of a sudden, the big dude goes, whoom, and he grabs this cable, which is going right into Phoenix, right through Phoenix Airport. And I grabbed this thing, and I'm like, oh, this? And I snapped it, and I tossed it. So what happens is, inside of these cables is the entire matrix of consciousness that everyone is running on. What I'm trying to share with you is the hardware level of the multi-dimensional hologram, the holographic matrix. Well, there is a hardware level to the matrix. Some of you guys do spiritual medicine. You look up in the sky and you see all the fractals and stuff. You might see a cable of what I speak of, but the cables come down, and if you really pay attention, there's a sheen or a sheet. It's almost like here's the cable, here's the sheen, right? So this is the fabric of space-time, the sheen that goes around the cable. So, hoot. So I grabbed some cables and moved them off Sedona, but I'm saying for you guys who are adjusting cables in your town, in your village, in the big cities, the main thing is that when things are not in motion, they get stagnant. So let me explain this to you, why everything in the universe has to change and be in flux. Just like a pond that fills full of water. If the pond fills full of water and the water does not move, what happens? Algae starts to grow, starts to stink. It literally turns into a swamp. But if the energy or that water is in motion, as it travels down the stream and the rocks, and all of the creeks into the rivers, it cleans the stream and it could turn into the most pure water you could ever imagine. But stagnant energy does the same thing. That's why moving this stuff is really important. So if you're strong enough in your city and town, this is for the advanced, pick the cables up and shake them out for everyone who's unconscious sitting underneath the veil. Repeat one more time from your brother. If you are strong enough in your town and you can hear me, pick the cables up, grab them with your energy hands, and just do this. Shake them. Almost like you're shaking out a blanket. Shake the cables and move them. Okay? It's very important to move the energy and shift things, because you don't understand that you might be having a really good, awesome day. You grab these cables or your field gets so strong, you don't realize that everyone who's about to have nightmares doesn't because of you. Because of your heart and you. You think, I don't affect anything. No, those guys up on the high rises in Chicago, my homies in New York, they got pyramids up right now cranking. Your field is literally helping everyone underneath you have a better experience than it would be if it dropped. So let's talk about the lower astral plane and what they had as a sign doing last night. Every boy and girl. Okay, give me a second. Relax. Hey, I know you guys are on lockdown. Check it out. Your heart's not on lockdown. Go in. What if I told you in this Jedi training, how often do you guys get to remove all distractions from your life since you incarnated on this planet and opened your eyes? When's the last time someone said all you have to do is go inside and meditate? Turn off the TV. Okay? Many of you guys who don't have higher selves that took you up on the mountain behind me in the middle of the night with your third eye on and trained you next to a bunch of 8 to 12 foot beings, let me tell you something. It's really hard to turn off the distraction to even have a moment of clarity to even be called to do something. In that spiritual nature, take advantage of this. It might be a very long time before everything is, hey, everyone in the world's going, shut it down. Shut it down. It's never happened in our incarnation, ever, or your parents, ever. It hasn't happened since the Spanish influenza in 1918, and they didn't have TVs. Don't take a vaccination. End up like those soldiers in World War I, right? No thanks. Moving on. Where you hiding, Bill? Because guess what? The bills do. Little inside humor for you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the gates are a little rusty, Bill. What else? He's a cute little reptilian. I mean, you gotta love him. I don't know. You guys didn't know that. Look at his face, for God's sakes. He looks like he's one of the characters in the old sitcom, The Dinosaurs. You know? Gotta love me. moving on. So for all the cute reptilians out there, love you too. And I appreciate there's something going on there that's actually positive. It's not all, nothing in the universe is all negative. So what else? Lower astral plane shifting. Here we go. So last night they had me in the lower astrals. So what does that mean? Me sitting here right now, imagine there's an ethereal cable about this size that's plugged into me like a fire hydrant. And I was literally running down this cable at a depth of, I sit in Sedona at 4,500 feet elevation. Imagine this going down at a 45-degree angle down hard right into the lower astral plane, which is underneath 3D. There is stuff down there in the lower astral plane, and that's where all the lower timelines also go, underneath. Okay? So, I was walking the streets in a major metropolitan street area. I knew I was in 4D, or lower astral planes, and I was basically the bait. So I'm sitting there just like me, walking down the street, could have been Los Angeles, Chicago, I don't know, New York. And there's all these like weird street performers. I knew instantly I was in some weird lower astral plane. When you start seeing the street performers on the stilts, you know, wearing those like weird outfits, I was like, oh, we're going into Carnival. Okay, as long as, you know, all you guys show me is one of those weird performers on the stilts, and I'm like, oh, so great, we're in that place. So I'm going down there, and I'm seeing all this weird stuff on the walls. I don't want to get too descriptive, but it was basically like pandemic level low. Imagine this dimension's kind of freaking out. Imagine the dimension underneath us. They're in a full-blown pandemic, you know, all this crazy stuff's going on. So I was down there as bait, playing like the naive tourist. And I went into this one place. They're like, come on in. And like, I'm walking on the street in sandals. It's dirty. There's like blood stains. I'm in like some weird reality, right? And I walk in there, and instantly I get pickpocketed. Boom, boom, boom. Guy takes my wallet, my cell phone. And then all of a sudden I go, so is that what this place is? Is that what you guys do? You guys just lure people in and you steal from them? Because what I realized is the energy is very parasitic. And I said, well, and I grabbed the guy and I pinned him down. I said, should I just call the police and have you arrested? And all of a sudden everyone in the room, because I mean the door's shut and it was just me in there with him. I'm like, oh, so it's like undercover time cop. And I was like, hey, so does that mean this is what you guys do for every single person that comes in here? Like instantly they knew, uh-oh, this was not what I thought it was. It's not a big, you know. And they said, well, look at us. Do you know why we look like this? And I said, no. And this big dude on stilts stood up and he pulled his shirt up and he had all these weird like birth defects things going on. And he goes, that's why every single one of us in here has this defect. And we're just doing this to survive. We can't heal ourselves. Like in their belief system, they feel they can't heal themselves. So I go, lay down, dude. And I hit this dude with like, you know, the golden Buddha palm. And I was like, nah! And I just sealed whatever that was and regrew whatever stuff was inside of his body. Mind you, in the dream, right? Dream, right? So all of a sudden, though, when my hand lit up, everyone in the room got scared and jumped back because the night on the lower astral planes is just as scared of the light as you could ever imagine. They run from that thing, from light, like a cockroach runs from a flashlight when you turn it on in the garage. They're like, ah! They don't know what to do with it. So I stood the guy up and I go, hey, dude, and I hit him right there on where I fixed him. I said, hey, bro, you don't have to act like this. So what's going on in the lower astral plane? Some of us light warriors and light workers out there, we are going, oh no, it's reconnecting. Facebook has already dropped. It's just me and you, YouTube. What is going on with Facebook? Trying to connect. Now, so what's going on with that specifically? In the lower astral planes, some of us are being asked to go and find those who may have polarity chosen a specific thing, right? Like, imagine if you didn't know any better. Imagine you were raised in a parasitic environment. I was down there hunting for good souls that maybe have never had the opportunity to shine. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I was down there, like, playing dumb, like saying, okay, this is the boogie woogie land. Okay, let's see what this is all about. So what I'm trying to say for you guys is that you guys might have dreams of dreaming in the lower astral planes, or your dreams are really negative. What I want you to understand is the strength of your heart will always guide you up. we're trying to search out what in this timeline shift, right, is literally going to be removed permanently, and which guys just kind of were raised in a weird environment that maybe never had the same experiences, right, that were necessary, right, to make a better choice. I just want, I just want to be real because, and by the way, this is not like some, 30-second dream. It was like 45 minutes, and I woke up at like 8 a.m., like wide awake, and I was like, let me process this. So for you guys that are remembering long periods of dream time, remember, mind you, I don't really like to dream about the lower astral planes and whatnot, but what I can say is that the fact that my aspect jumped into it, healed that dude, picked that guy up, and everyone was freaked out. Like, imagine going into a coven of vampires, having your hand light up, heal somebody, and then look at them all with your eyes glowing gold and go, yo, dude, if you guys didn't have this weird illness, would you still be cool, or would you still be doing this stupid stuff that I just caught you doing red-handed? And they were just like, oh, we would, hey, guys on YouTube, I love you over here. Go ahead and share the feed, this link on the Facebook feed. It dropped over there on Facebook. Come on, baby. What else? So yeah, that's some of the stuff why you guys might be having some weird dreams in that way. Understood? Yeah, I know. I'm too real for Facebook. Just YouTube's still going. Share it over on Facebook. If you guys are watching on YouTube, go ahead and share this stuff. I want to explain some of the things because the Debbie Downer stuff, if you guys aren't watching TV, what's happening is in the lower planes, your lower selves, I know it's kind of weird to think that the physical plane, there can't be anything underneath this dimension. There is. If you guys ever done a visual medicine before, don't look down. When you're doing a visual medicine, try to stay here or up, right? There is some weird stuff that takes place on, dimensionally underneath this reality. So beautiful. How you guys doing out there? See, they want me to hit finish on the Facebook thing, but I'm just like, nah, dude, because I know you're still recording. Because Facebook, I'm a pro. I'm the casual pro. I should probably be your boss. Maybe I will be soon. Moving on. So, for all of us out there that are ancient souls, here's the deal. Stay true, stay in your heart. When you guys are in a good attitude, in a good vibration, that strength, you drive through the field. So you, by being in your music, you dancing, staying healthy. I got some reggae on in the background. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I know you guys in other countries. I have some homies over in Eastern Europe. In Europe, it's like gnarly there. You can't go outside. They got drones watching the TV. Watch it if you go outside in outside Belgium. Little ridiculous if you ask me. But my question would be this: what is out there in those areas that would need so much security that they would have to keep everyone inside to make sure that if something does pop off, right, they're safe, or what I like to think is that they get arrested. That's the real stuff. Everything, remember, in this universe, everything has a pro and a con. All right, well, I'm waiting for the pros to come out. And I'm going to try and tell you, there's a game plan that's been going on for a very long time. So, upload in HD and share. So, the deal is, with that, specifically, remember, there's always two sides to the coin. Remember, we are galactic citizens. Remember, our solar system is lit. Remember, we're living on a library planet. Remember, your higher selves are awesome, rock stars. Remember that the programming of this short incarnation is only a blip in the scale of space-time. Calm down. Relax. If anything, practice your breath. Take this 2 weeks for Jedi training. This 2 months, whatever, 2 months. Whatever they want to do. Here's the thing, there's so much news coming out, I'm not sure what to believe, but all I can say is I haven't stopped creating every day. Right? I was thinking about stuff for 5G this morning. I was talking to a bunch of engineers on the phone. I'm working on some things. Yeah, that's a powered thing. Here's the thing about the vaccines. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't take anything unless I knew every single ingredient in there. And I watched the guy in front of me, the doctor who's prescribing it, take a shot right in front of me, again, with all the CEOs of this world. Sure, show me a Skype video of every single CEO. I want to see the CEO of every major corporation on this planet take it. Did you guys know that Bill Gates' doctor was in an interview, straight up, and he never had his kids vaccinated? Did you know that? Look up interview with Bill Gates' doctor when his kids were born. Bill Gates' kids were never vaccinated. I can't make this stuff easier for you to understand. Okay? Look up what killed all those soldiers in the Spanish influenza. It wasn't the Spanish flu. It was the vaccine they got. So, what is this really? I don't believe we live on a planet of bad beings. I believe there's a bunch of turds that are getting cleaned up right now. And I believe there's a lot of good people out there that are fighting the fight every day to support and protect us. I have to stay in that zone. My reality holds up many. So what I'm trying to say for you positive people out there, stay in your heart. Stay in your heart. We're not dum-dums. We're not chump-chumps. To be honest with you, as you well know, they lost this entire generation. Our parents, right? But really, from like, I would say our parents are getting woke right now, but 50, 40, 30, 20, no one believes anything these guys are speaking about. They lost that whole, I'm just going to do it because it's the right. Sorry, bro, we're educated. We're not dum-dums. We're not sheep, okay? Some of us who have been observing this game for quite some time, you might, I feel like I'm that Sting song, when your servant is your master. I feel like I'm in a Sting song right now, just observing. So, what can I say? 80s music. What can I say? Turn the TVs off. What can I say? Take your vitamins, your nutritions. For how much time you spend in watching this stuff, you should be working out or doing exercise or breathing. Or I don't know, depending on what level you're in, but you can always go inside. Try to meditate, try to read a book, try to talk to your guides, try to activate your dormant DNA, try to do your mantras, whatever it is, don't try, do. My brother Alexander and I will be a part of that global mass meditation on April 4th. Might have another special presentation for you guys on the 1st. But I want you guys to know that I see a lot more positive things coming. And I know from my guides, truly, what I've said in the past videos, this fear test, and obviously removing some of this negative stuff, the reason why we all have to be privy to it in the collective consciousness, if you're looking at this as a large timeline which is being cleaned up, everyone has to know what's been going on behind the scenes for us to actually grow as a collective. You can't have a portion of the population doing all this really horrible negative stuff and lying about it. It has to be exposed. It has to come out. Just as you would pull the planet Earth's almost like it has a splinter in it. Well, you can't keep putting a Band-Aid over the splinter. Eventually you have to pull, the needle out, right? The cactus needle out, and clean the wound so it can repair properly. Consciously, there's a lot of stuff that's been set up between these different Democratic and Republican parties, these political parties. To me, it's like, I like Jesse Ventura's analogy where it's basically like the WWF worldwide. It's the same guys at the very top pulling the strings, I like to think in this case that the game plan they have is for sovereignty, freedom, to be returned to this planet. I will hold that space. And to be honest with you, the more activated your DNA is and multidimensional functions, you are strong enough to reprogram any life form on this planet if they choose to do mischievous things. Your power alone will trump them. This is what I let you know. You turn on a full-blown multidimensional, galactic guardian and go, focus on this group sitting in a circle. It doesn't take much focus. What I can express to you is this. We're here to observe and make sure these beings learn not to do that stuff and to be positive. That's all I'd like to say. Woo! And with that, feel free to share this video, share it on the Unite the Collective and all that stuff, or on my Facebook. I'm sorry, Facebook, that it dropped. It's too real. But I did make this for you guys. So remember last time I showed you guys the blue one? Well, I had to crush a special mix of red. So fulgurite, which is lightning stones, crushed by lightning up in the mountains, mixed with cornelian, in a ton of rose quartz and amethyst and stuff. But I made these for you because I thought they were cool, right? The rose of life, right? So you guys check that out on YouTube. It's dope. You shall know them by the gifts they bring. All right, for all my fellow Kachinas out there, I love you guys. Stay woke, educate yourselves. In my gut, 80% BS, 20% truth. In my gut, shifting daily with the probability matrices as each of these negative functions are removed, the resonance of frequency of proper probability timeline shifts up. As you well know, we've already won, right? The future game, we already have this already in the bag, so many people talk about. We are living through history right now. Stay strong, stay in your heart, and just know that you are always loved. I am Rion. I love you guys. You guys have an awesome week, and I'll see you guys for our special broadcast, maybe on Wednesday or on Saturday the 4th. All right, you guys. Peace.